Once again, we have a winner for the Video Response Wars. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but it's true. Yes, Boink the Clown has once again won the Video Response Wars, and I want to congratulate him one more time. So, why am I entitling this video The Road Ahead? Well, I'll say it this way. I had a cousin once, and she was going to get married. And she planned this wedding for months. It was going to be outside, it was going to be beautiful, all these flowers, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And she had also made contingency plans at a hotel so that if it ever rained, she would have the wedding inside. Well, I'm glad she made the contingency plan, because that's exactly what it did. It stormed, and it stormed big time. And what would have been her wedding ended up being rained out. So she ended up having her wedding indoors instead of outdoors. So it was good thinking on her part. And I say this because I've been watching your videos, Boink the Clown, and I have been thoroughly enjoying them. I love them, and I want you to keep right on at them. Okay? But as a data processor, and as you have pretty much figured out, I am one heck of a data processor. I also have a lot of information. Now, let me tell you something. When you're traveling down a road, if you know there is a super humongous pothole in the road, are you going to take your car and slam it into the pothole and see if you can damage all the nice little like tie bars and shock absorbers and all that other stuff? Probably not. Now, if you didn't know, you might damage your car. But if you did, I don't think you would take a car and to see if you could tear it to pieces, especially if it's a car that you really value. And I know this from personal experience, because let me tell you something, I've been on several country roads, and a few of them did some pretty decent damage to my car. Not intentionally, but it happened. And that's true. And there have been many car repair bills that I have regretted, because I just simply didn't check out those roads quickly enough to make sure that I didn't go on them and... Anyway, so what is the data I'm trying to get you to consider? Well, first of all, let me say that there is not one show I like more than the Mythbusters. Let me tell you something, I love the Mythbusters. They do all these crazy things, and it just shocks me as to what they do. But one of the things they also do is they plan ahead. They do scientific data, they do test modeling, whole 9 yards, making sure that whatever they do is proven to be pretty darn safe. Then they go out and do what they do. And it is as much of their planning that I admire as to what they do in real life. And let me tell you something, if that's the kind of career you're pursuing, I say go for it. I hope you become the next type of Mythbuster, because I think that would be absolutely cool for you. But I also want you to plan for the road ahead. Okay, so what does all this mean? Well, if you know from my 1K video, I was discussing expletives. And what I was trying to make as a point is that as much as people like me are viewing other people's videos, and I'm sure that I am not the only one who's viewing your videos, and I hope you're getting a lot more views thanks to what I've done. And if you're not, we're going to try real hard to get you as much views as possible, because I want you to be viewed just as much as me, and hopefully even more. Okay? But there is a couple of other groups that actually view videos like this. They also watch Facebook pages, they watch MySpace pages, they watch Twitters, so on and so forth. The first group are potential employers. Now, there are some potential employers that really don't give a darn blam hoot and a holler on what's on the internet. And I think it's great, because then they're actually considering the human being rather than what they actually post on some website somewhere. Unfortunately, there are also other employers who are sitting there and watching your YouTube videos and watching your Facebook pages and your MySpace pages and your Twitters, and they're deciding that the only people they're going to employ are the people that live these incredibly dull lives. So somebody like me would more likely get employed with these kind of people than, say, somebody that went out and did a lot of extreme stuff like what you enjoy to do. Now, I know that's not fair, and I agree with you. That is not fair. How dare you judge a person just because of what they do on a video or what they say on a Facebook page? What you are on Facebook is not all that you are. But that's how they're deciding this. And I think it's a pretty rotten thing to do. But unfortunately, this is the kind of thing that happens. So the first thing that you should take under consideration as you continue to do your videos, and I have to take this under consideration too. Believe me, I do. Because I work for an employer, and that employer does watch my Facebook page, my YouTube page, so on and so forth. So I have to kind of monitor myself, and I know I am somewhat controversial, and I agree with you on that. I am somewhat controversial. But I try not to push the envelope too much, because if I do, I could end up losing my job. I don't want to do that. So when you're doing a YouTube video, you have to strike a balance between making sure that you're not doing something too extreme, but also not becoming so dang boring that your audience doesn't watch you. And sometimes that's a fine line, and I know how fine of a line it can be. But we do our best, and sometimes we fail. And that's unfortunate. Sometimes we fail. Even I feel sometimes I fail, even though I haven't, but I feel sometimes I'm a failure at this. But it is something to take into consideration. Now, another group of people that watch videos and go through Facebook pages, so on and so forth, are health insurance companies. That's right. Let me tell you something. As much as I disagree with the philosophy of a health insurance company, there are some health insurance companies that will stand there and watch what you're doing to determine what kind of a health risk you are. And the reason they're doing this is because they have decided to turn the health insurance business into a massive for-profit business. They're trying to make a killing off of you. And I think that's wrong. But even though I think it's wrong, that's what they do, and that's the society we have to live with. Okay? So, the thing is that even people, now, you would think, here we got people that are professional skydivers, professional bungee jumpers, so on and so forth. They have a tough time finding health insurance for themselves simply for the fact that they're doing some of these extreme sports, which they've done all the safety precautions, whole 9 yards. Shoot, they could practically wear Kevlar. But yet some of these insurance companies won't insure them or will require them to pay such a humongous premium because they are going out there and participating in extreme sports. Even some people that are participating in ordinary things like football or wrestling, they find it hard to get health insurance. Why? Because it could potentially cost us in the future. Well, you know what? Health insurance should not be exclusively for your profit. And I know that there are health insurance companies that would just like to slap me in the face for saying that, but, you're here to insure us, not stand there and try to make a killing off of us. And this is the same way with car insurance. Have you ever noticed with car insurance? Okay, some car insurance companies will try to make a killing by saying, well, because you're a guy, you have to pay a higher premium, or because you drive a certain way, or you drive a certain car, we are going to make a killing off of you. That's not fair. It's not right. There is a certain level of personal responsibility, and I understand that, but on the other hand, you're here to insure us, not to make a killing off of us. And that's kind of controversial, but I'll say it. So, like I said, we live in a society where we have to be a little careful of what we're doing because of these kind of people that are out to make a profit off of us, which I think is wrong. Why should I have to live a totally sedentary lifestyle just because you want to sell me health insurance at such an unbelievable rate, or just simply not sell it to me at all? Who wants to live a sedentary life? I know you, Boink the Clown, don't want to live a sedentary life, and I know I don't. And I know that they're already cracking down on smokers, and soon it will be people that don't weigh like they think you should. Okay, your weight will become a humongous factor as to whether you pay X amount for your health insurance or you pay something far worse. Well, that's not right. Why should I restrict what I eat because of your premiums? Or worse, you just decide not to insure me at all. I think that's wrong. Yes, there are certain parameters that should be met, and yes, I do take care of myself as far as that's concerned. But I would like to enjoy life too, and if I want to go out, and I don't do this, but if I want to go out and have a whole bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's my American right. And for you to deny me health insurance or charge me an extremely exorbitant rate because I want to enjoy an occasional bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's wrong. And I do stand up for that. So, like I said, in YouTube videos, you kind of have to strike a balance. Yes, we want to show these kids that you can do things with your life. You don't have to live totally sedentary because some insurance companies dictating your insurance rates to you, or worse yet, some future employer might see this and say, oh gee, he might detract from my business, so on and so forth. But on the other hand, we want to also teach safety on the flip side. So my advice to you would be to go ahead, make your extreme show, but also show kids how to do stuff safely at the same time, so that we strike a balance by making sure that we are continuing to show ourselves to be employable members of society, but on the other hand, we also live a life. Because I agree with you, Boink the Clown. We should live our lives, and we should live them to the fullest. But we should do it in a way that would not be such an embarrassment, I suppose, if you want to call it that, or for whatever term you would like to use. But to use it so that potential employers will still want to employ us, and insurance companies will still want to sell us insurance. And it's just like I was talking about with the expletives. If an employer sees you're using a ton of expletives on your YouTube channel, he may be afraid that you'll use that in his workplace, which could then cause customers to wander away and cost him profits. And that's how they see things. It's not right, but that's how they see things. So hopefully you're seeing what I'm trying to say. I absolutely do not want to discourage you, Boink the Clown, from continuing your stuff on YouTube. Keep up doing it, but make sure you're showing safety and you're showing respect for others. It's a balance, and it's a tough one to keep. I know I've been running my own channel for over a year now, and it has been a very tough battle. And there have been times when I have stood up and been counted. And if a potential employer doesn't like that particular thing, I'm sorry. That's the kind of person I am. But hopefully I didn't do anything on my channel that's been too awfully controversial. I know I've kind of pushed the envelope a little bit, and I know you have as well. And we should push the envelope a little bit, but let's not push it too far. I'd like for kids to see that yes, you can live a life, but on the other hand, you have to be respectful to others as you're doing so. And hopefully, if you strike that kind of balance, you'll have a very good channel, and I continue to endorse yours to the fullest at this time. So, like I said, it's a balance between one thing and another, and it is tough to keep that balance, and if you do it, you are doing a very good job. And so far, you look like you've been doing pretty good. I want you to keep right on doing it. So, that's kind of the road ahead. I just wanted you to know what's out there and to see things as what they're going on, check things out, research, investigate, and hopefully you will end up with a channel that will mirror the Mythbusters. That's what I'd really like to see out of you. I would really like to see a Mythbusters type channel out of you and your friends. So I hope you do it. I hope you succeed. And if there's anything I can do to assist you in that, I will be glad to do so. Alright, Boink the Clown, you are the winner of the video response wars this week. I congratulate you. I look forward to your next set of videos. Keep them coming because they're going to be posted right here. And I want the world to see what you're doing. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.